Hey guys, my name's Jordan and welcome back to my gaming channel named It's Game Productions, and today I have an unboxing and review of the Perixx MX-2000 gaming mouse. Now this is a mouse designed for primarily FPS gaming. It's a very good mouse actually, but I'll get more onto that in a bit. First we're just going to start off by looking at the box it came in. So as you see on the front it has a picture of the mouse itself. Now if we move onto the side and just move that in shot there, you can see the sort of specifications of the mouse there. So you can see it's got a 150 inch per second maximum movement speed, a braided USB cable, a gold plated USB 2 connector, and rubber black painting on the mouse. Now this rubber black painting is really good. It's really certainly feels very high quality and is very nice and grippy in your hands. I certainly have no problems at all holding this mouse in the slightest. And then if we move the box over to view the other side, we can see some other sort of specifications of the mouse. So you can see it has DPI adjustment on the fly, it has 8 buttons, it can do a surface tracking speed of 30G, and it also uses laser technology as opposed to optical. And then we can also see that it's compatible with Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7 and Windows 8. So, when we look on the back of the box, we just have some various other information about it. Pretty much the same sort of stuff as we see on the side. You see that the manual and everything like that is on the CD, and also very proudly on the back it does say that it was designed in Germany. The Perixx, they're very proud that they are a German company and that all of their mice are designed in Germany. There we go, we can see it there at the bottom, and all the various safety markings and such that you would like to know. Now it does use a USB 2.0 interface, so you can connect it to pretty much any computer in the world really. You don't need anything fancy or anything like that. And yeah, so what we do now is we're just going to flip over the very nicely magnetically held down lid there. It sort of clips into place with magnets, and you can see the mouse, a picture of the mouse on the side of the box there, all lit up and looking fancy, and then the mouse held inside, sort of vacuum sealed in there. Not vacuum sealed, but you know, vacuum formed in there, very nicely held, very secure, and definitely won't get damaged in transit. So when you get it out of the box, you get a variety of different sort of things. So to start off with, you get a CD which contains the drivers and the manuals for it. I personally would recommend that you go to their website and just download the latest version of the driver from their website, because it's most likely that the stuff on the disc is out of date, although it does have a instruction manual on there as well, should you so require. Next we have a tin, and now inside this tin there's a couple of different things. There's little replacement feet. On the bottom of the mouse there's these like sliding feet, and these actually replace them. If you look here on the bottom of the mouse, you can, if your ones wear out, you can replace them with that, which is really good. They thought of the longevity there. And there's also 7 5-gram weights, and it's very easy to put these weights in. So you simply flip the mouse over, take off this little hatch on the bottom, and you can see there is the holes there. You just take the weights out and plop them in the holes, and it really allows you to very thoroughly control what weight your mouse is. They're 5-gram weights, and you can add up to 7 of them, so you can add up to 35 grams of weight to your mouse, just to get it so it's the perfect feel for you, so you get like the best responses and things like that. Now the USB plug is gold plated on the end. It's kind of a standard connector, nothing fancy or anything like that, but the quality of the braiding on the cable really is exceptional. I don't think I've seen anything aside from my keyboard, which is a CM Storm Quickfire, with such nice braiding, and it is a very long cable indeed. I had no trouble like reaching from the back of my computer to do that. So when you look at the mouse, you see it has 2 buttons. You've got your left and right click, you have a scroll wheel which also clicks in, you've got your DPI switching buttons, your trigger button, you have your mouse 3 and mouse 4 buttons there, but all of these buttons can be remapped, and they're all very easy to reach during gameplay. Especially like the thumb button, the trigger button right at the front there, I especially got on with that really well. And I have quite large hands and it fits me perfectly. I tend to hold the mouse sort of a cross between the claw and palm grip. Now you can see here all the different colours available for backlighting on the mouse. They didn't come out too well on the camera, but I tried as best I could. There is millions of different colours. Well, there's not technically, but you know, there's still a lot of different colours. Now if you look here, there's a very handy little indicator on the side of the mouse there, lets you know what DPI setting you've got the mouse on, which is really good, so you can quickly glance down and see. Now as we move on to the driver software, you can see that we can adjust all the DPIs, all the sensitivities. There's multiple profiles and things like that. You can even do things such as change your X and Y sensitivities and such like that. Now every single button on this mouse can be remapped to whatever you want, be it a macro, a multimedia key, or pretty much any standard mouse key button thingy. So it really does work really well. You can also go and add macros, so you can create your own custom macros which you can record very easily. Just click start recording, type in whatever you want your macro to be, and then just click stop recording, and then you can assign that to any button on your mouse that you want. Now they're in the advanced settings tab, so you can do things such as change the Windows mouse properties very easily and quickly. You can change the polling rate of the mouse, the on-to-go speed, which I'm not entirely sure what that does. It didn't really explain it too well in the manual, and also how many times the fire button fires. And then in the backlight setting, you can choose all different backlights. You can have it pulsing, you can have it breathing, you can have it flashing, changing between different colours, and you can even have it so it only flashes when you're not using the mouse, if that sort of thing is distracting. And then when you click the apply button, it saves it onto the mouse so that it remembers the settings across different computers without you having to remember them and configure them every time you move to a new computer. It actually saves it on the mouse. Now this is just some Counter-Strike gameplay I got with some recording of the mouse in action, just so you can see. I tend to use quite actually a high sensitivity for first person shooters relative to what a lot of other people use, and I've just been getting on with this mouse really well. It's so accurate, the laser sense on it is just ridiculously accurate, and the mouse doesn't seem to want to take control from you. It still just works as a mouse. It doesn't have any sort of angle snapping or anything like that. I have got the registry fix applied in Windows 8 to stop Windows from automatically performing any sort of mouse snapping or acceleration, and the mouse doesn't have any of that either. It really does a one-to-one true representation of your movement on the mouse mat, which is really good if you want to get more consistent at aiming, and really helps with getting frags in certain games and things like that. So it is really good. Now there are a couple of downsides with this mouse. One of the problems I have is that there doesn't seem to be, whilst there is like loads of buttons you can map to the different buttons on the mouse, I personally would like to see, I'm not sure if this is actually technically possible, but for them to add, because you have mouse button 3, 4 and 5, which are assigned to the middle mouse button, the two side buttons, but then there doesn't appear to be a mouse button 6, which you can assign to the thumb button, which I would have really liked to have seen. It just made it very difficult for me. I had to set up a custom macro to actually allow me to bind that button to different sort of things, because it defaults as the profile switch button, but I wanted to use it in games just to get more effective, add extra functions which I can do in my hands. But unfortunately the mouse, certainly the driver, did not allow me to do that. I'm not sure if that's a limitation with Windows or if it's something they can fix in a future driver, but I would really like it if they managed to fix it. Other than that, it pretty much is all positive for this mouse. The build quality on it is pretty much the best build quality on a mouse I've owned so far. I've owned two Trust mice, a GXT15 and a GXT25, which they're not super high-end mice, but they are relatively high-end, and with this mouse I definitely can compare the quality on it certainly to my friend's Razer Naga. It really is a very strong feeling mouse. The build quality on it just seems to be absolutely sublime, and yeah, I can't fault them for the build quality on it. Now, all the switches on the mouse are what are called Omron micro switches, which means there is very little travel in them, which is amazing if you're playing and you need to be able to tap these buttons really quickly, because it literally is I think it's probably less than a millimetre you actually need to press these for them to actuate. They're not stupidly sensitive though. They still do have a little bit of resistance before they click, but you are able to just rapid fire with these like ridiculously fast. Or if you haven't got much of a trigger finger, you can just simply bind the fire button on the mouse and have it fire 9 times in quick succession and things like that. I did actually figure out that if I set it to 2, it would actually just automatically 2-shot all the weapons on Counter-Strike for you automatically, which is pretty incredible, but kind of cheaty, so I decided I wouldn't use that just because I personally felt it wasn't the best thing to do. But all in all, this mouse is absolutely brilliant. I would really recommend you go out and buy it. I haven't actually mentioned the price yet, but at the time I bought it, it was about £28, well, about £30, and it really is ridiculously good value for money. It's such a high quality mice, it's such a high quality mouse. Really is really accurate, really sensitive, and I just genuinely can't fault it in any way, shape or form. I just have been getting on with it so well. So yeah, I would really recommend you go out and buy it. But anyway guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see this or gameplay content. I do tend to post more gameplay content than review content at the moment. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Please comment, subscribe, rate and all that awesome stuff, and goodbye.
John, if you get that AK, I'll give you he's around the corner.
He's dead.
Yeah, no, get an AK. If I'll buy you an M4. Thank you, John.